The Practical Heart, 4 novellas by Allan Gurganus. Copyright 2001 by Allan Gurganus. This full-length reading was produced in 2001 by Books on Tape, Incorporated, which holds the copyright thereto. This book is read by Dan Cashman.
The Practical Heart. For Michael Pollan and for Jack Fullylove, 1917 to 2000. At last, the distinguished thing. Henry James, Final Words.
The Expensive Spirit. 1. Oh, did I mention that John Singer Sargent painted my great-aunt? No? Yes, Muriel. What led to the portrait? A streetcar accident. What led to the streetcar? Her Professor Father's low appetite for cowboy novels written by Karl May. May, 1842 to 1912, was a German high school teacher, nabbed for petty theft. In prison, he taught himself to write. His narrow cell's subject? Galloping Indians of the Great Plains, Palominos, Buttes. He saw America only after writing 60 books about it. And yet to this dreamer con-man I owe my American citizenship, my lack of a trust fund, and I suppose the Sargent portrait. My great-grandfather, Professor Donald Fraser of the University of Glasgow, was tenured, landed, married, surrounded by 4 adored, if never quite beautiful, daughters. A gardener pruned his vista. 3 intelligent maids re-alphabetized his library. Professor Fraser had inherited the 7-acre compound with its orchard, with the 16th-century stone house, big and old enough to warrant a name. Sunnyside, naturally. Oh, to have $1 for every lost home place once called Sunnyside. Fraser was 45, boasted a lustrous white beard that seemed a dividend on his distinction. He'd published 4 books, 2 about Robert Burns, and 1 concerning lotus imagery and world literature. All this is true, I swear to God. His most personal work, The Bagpipe, Some Reminiscences, chronicled his own collection of ancient, nearly museum-worthy pipes. But local happiness was not enough. No, his venturing spirit led him to those cheap, gallant, faintly autoerotic westerns by a German jailbird jewel thief. And the professor believed those tales. Then he learned of a teacher exchange program. And without really consulting his family, Donald Fraser chose to transport them all to a university in Chicago for a year. He thought Chicago was the West. Turns out it was, but not the West he'd planned. History is not just lived, it's also wished, isn't it? Maybe art is history most livingly wished. Oh, to break in now and shout back to him, ambered in the 1870s, "Great-grandpapa, stay home! Perfect Sunnyside's rock garden. Marry off your smart daughters to the smug entitled local gentry. Save to buy more Macintosh furniture. Get fat. But don't read trashy books for boys." Great art always offers troubling adult portraiture. Bad art offers easy lies and makes for bad decisions. Stay there. But I can't, and he couldn't, and if he hadn't, Singer Sargent wouldn't enter into it, and you might not be interested. Professor Fraser, his ladies, and their 19 trunks, packed with 1 year's art supplies for the daughters, arrived unheralded in the mythic Chicago of the 1870s. The town had a cowboy novel's mules and dust. After rain, it became a Venice made of mud. Painted women revealing entire inches of dead white ankle loitered under gas street lamps in even the best neighborhoods. Civil War veterans, their blue uniforms emptied of legs and arms, begged, aggressive, on street corners. No building looked more than 6 months old. To the stately professor's 4 virgin daughters, workmen muttered personal, ghastly things. Stockyards brought the scent of reality into the most elevated thought. Everything seemed omen. One afternoon, to cheer 5 womenfolk, Donald Fraser squired them toward high tea at what one heard was the best hotel. It featured Chicago's first revolving door, but a crowd stood pressing noses to the portal's fanning glass. One clever brown hen had escaped a passing farm cart. She then dashed toward safety, but chose a door like an upright threshing machine made of mirror. Professor Fraser could see the chicken in there still alive and flapping against tile floor, her head twisted beneath a rotating black rubber flange. Her red wattle seeped out from underneath, like black rubber's own red rubber blood. "Don't look, Muriel," the Scotsman told his eldest girl and confidant, who looked. Nobody could push the door without killing the bird. Her free wing beat so, trying to lift a 10-story building nesting on her spine. The crowd of city swells in fur, velvet, and cashmere seemed unconcerned about one chicken's life. But everyone acted embarrassed that a single country fowl could block entry to so fine an establishment, and at tea time. Muriel, having peeked, her face a stark white vertical beneath its tweed bonnet, now tried to hold cupped hands over 3 younger sisters' eyes. "It's a hurt one," she explained. "If you see it, you'll remember, so don't. Please." The youngsters peeked. Crying resulted. Muriel already understood. This sight had entered her forever. A hen was lodged there in that door, and the sight was in her now. The family soon discovered. Homesickness meant just that, sickness, a stubborn flu of longing. Sometimes the sight of a letter's pink Scottish stamp could send any of them into nausea itself. The girls did sketches of Sunnyside's apple orchard. Muriel, the astute eldest, Papa's favorite, portrayed Sunnyside's foyer. She showed its William Morris laurel wallpaper backing 40 frames of Piranesi's classical ruins. She even added the yellow ceramic umbrella stand crammed with hawthorn walking sticks and house guests' orphaned umbrellas. Her drawing made the container seem so avuncular a jumble that, according to Papa, it looked the very portrait of Mr. Holmes' squat companionable sidekick, Dr. Watson. "I see that," Muriel nodded, smiling. The visiting professor taught classes in an accent his students joked about. They asked for repetitions. 2 months before the Frasers planned to return to Glasgow, the whole family began packing. Over-preparing, Fraser brogues thickened to butterscotch density. The day before departure arrived, the professor's wife, pretty, plump, hurried to Marshall Fields buying gifts for Scottish relatives, tablecloths and matching napkins. Laden with goods, happy, rushing, she was 1 block from the store when a streetcar jumped its tracks. It came at her. It was striking her. It had pinned her underneath it. Already her pelvis had been crushed like some Sèvres teacup trod upon by boots. Kind treatment she received on the street was later attributed to 11 scattered bundles in Field's gift wrapping. Those, if not her dreadful screams, had marked her as a lady. 4 doctors, overpaid, the best by all accounts, told Donald Fraser, "Scotland? Any travel would be fatal. She would die on the train to New York." The accident rendered the daughter of Lord Kilcairn an invalid for life. She could not walk, would have to be carried, forever moaning from bed to bed. And so the professor's employment ended. The teacher he'd traded places with came home, wearing a touristic tartan vest, and amicably.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?